Good evening, Aston Villa fans. Welcome to the Villa4Ever podcast. I am your host, Chad Williams. First of all, if you are new to this channel, please hit subscribe. And you can follow me on all audio platforms as well. This evening, I'm joined by my guest, Josh Piavasana, and in a bit, my Wolves friend, Matt Bird, who supports the Dingles, will be joining in a bit as well. I'll be doing the International Break podcast. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, not doing too bad. Just had a bit of a busy few weeks at work. But lots of shows that we've got coming up. Selling quite a few tickets for some of those. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing alright, thank you. It was quite a tough day yesterday. I went to my friend's funeral. He sadly
Sorry to
passed
hear
away,
that.
that's alright. But yeah, he's a real good school friend of mine, and it really puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
I know it's not fair.
No, I think, and that's the frustrating thing. You know, with the conditions that you guys have got, it's you know, you especially, Chad, you always try and make the best of what you can, and
Yeah.
you're always going out to concerts and sorry about that.
It's alright.
Yeah, you're always out and about doing volunteering. Going to concerts. I see you at the football on a weekly basis. So really, it's about
You
making
can
the
just
best
keep
of what you've
positive.
got. Yeah, exactly. It's the same with me as well.
Well, also, everyone, I'm using my platform to spread awareness about Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So please all help spread awareness. Over the next few weeks, I'll be showing different stages of Duchenne. This week, I'm doing ages 6 to 9. And the information that you'll see, which will be very helpful, is at the bottom of the screen. Right then, let's get into the football chat then. So, Josh, what is your overall thoughts on Gareth Southgate's England squad? And are you pleased with the announcement, or is there anyone else Southgate should have chosen?
I think I'm pleased with the fact that Watkins has definitely got back into the squad. I'm just frustrated at the fact it's taken so long for him to get back into the squad. But I also think that potentially he could have maybe took Konza as well. And not just Lewis Dunk. But it's what it is. We've got Ollie Watkins in there at the moment, so I'm happy with that. And then obviously we've got the likes of Pau Torres, Martinez, McGinn,
You've got some good options, even in international football.
and they're playing for their respective international countries.
I think you got the notes a little bit for that. Yeah, well, I think we've got a very strong, talented squad with young talent and experience. I think it's fantastic news for Ollie Watkins. Deserves call up, and I think he's worked very hard for it. I think what I like about Watkins as well, he's been very consistent as well. And also, the other thing I'll say is, I'm surprised that Ezri Konsa didn't get picked, in my opinion. He's a lot better option than some of the other centre backs we have. You look at Harry Maguire, there is a lot better centre backs in there than him as well. So I think Konsa would definitely be the ideal in competitive guys for England. I've been really impressed with performances this season. It's been very good. And I think with Esri Konsa as well, he plays a crucial part in that team. Very solid at the back. And he's always been very reliable as well. Sorry about that, I think I've lost Josh for a minute. So if you want to get involved with your comments, you can. Just let me know. So are you happy? Okay, I go to the next bit now. Is everyone happy with Watkins being called up for England? And what good attributes do you think he brings to this England team? Well, I think in my opinion, I think Watkins has definitely proven what he can do. Just needs to keep scoring goals consistently. Also, as well, I like what he does, not just go to goal scoring, but he contributes well off the ball as well. His work rate and hold up play, linking other players together, is something that a lot of Villa fans like. But also, Southgate likes to see other attributes apart from goal scoring as well. I'm really happy for Watkins. And in that Brighton game, he performed in front of Southgate. And he really impressed him. I think with Watkins, it's been a long time coming. And I think he definitely deserves his call-up. Right, next bit, I'm going to talk about Watkins signing a new contract. And I think it really shows how much the football club are moving forward. Well, let me know your thoughts, Villa fans. I'm actually over the moon with this announcement. It has been on the cards for a while. And if you look at the players we've got, like John McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Emi Martinez, and obviously not other players like Konsa. He's a crucial fringe player who is showing how much trust he's put in Unai Emery, the football club's project. And also, I mean, if he stays for another few years, he could be Aston Villa's all-time Premier League goal scorer. After that Brighton game, after he got that hat-trick, he's on 50 goals now. So I think Gabby Bond the whole.
It is about that, mate. My dad has moved my car.
Gabby,
I don't know if you want to
it's all right.
potentially start it again or.
No,
I don't know.
It's live.
Yeah, okay, you alright, Josh?
Matt, how are we doing?
How you doing? You're right, mate. I've pulled over. I'm still half hour away from home, so I pulled over.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you okay, mate? Can you see me all right? I've got the
lights
on in the van. I've got the lights on in the van. You all right?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the banter as well.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, apologies about that. So I don't know what's been missed in the podcast now.
No, I carried on talking.
Yeah. So I couldn't hear what you're saying, but because it was going through my car, I think my dad might have caught some of it.
Well, Matt is a Dingles fan.
only on a Saturday, Chad.
We're still proud of the Midlands.
Well, I don't know. 4 years since you beat us, mate. It's a bit of a questionable debate, isn't it, now?
I mean...
I was just talking about Ollie Watkins.
Oh, mate, he's hit some great form for you. Like, look, you know, when you've needed him. And a lot of people say some stuff about him, like in his 10 chances to score a goal in a game. The hat-trick the other week, the call up to England, it's just showed that, you know, he's highly thought of, isn't he?
Yeah, but, you know, if you need 10 chances, as long as you score 3 out of those 10 or 2 out of those 10, at least you're scoring goals.
Yeah, that's it.
Does he? 'Cause he's almost the all-time Premier League goal scorer behind Gabby Bandahor. I think he scored 75 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, like you said, Josh, he needs a few chances, but he scores goals. And I think the thing that Wolves have been missing for a few years since Jimenez's injury is a goal scorer. So
Yeah, because injuries like that, they can, they seem to really affect players.
yeah, of course they do. Yeah,
Because with Watkins, he's a crucial fringe player.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, and I think given the chance with England, and it's always one of those with England, like Chad and Josh. I think like on Friday he'll make a few changes and Watkins might stop. He's not playing him with the first 11, the ones that will create the chances like they would do for Kane and things like that. So I think if he was to put in that scenario, I think he would score a lot more and be more of a feature.
Yeah.
I like his
No,
contribution
100%.
off the ball.
Yeah, but that's it. He'll run 100 and he'll give 100% most games, won't he?
Yeah. But then it still annoys me that most Villa fans that they'll say, "Oh yeah, but he's still not good enough," and that annoys me. That yes, they're professional footballers and they probably should score every chance they get, but it's not as easy as what people think it is.
Oh yeah, scoring goals is don't matter what league you're playing. If it's a Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, to score goals at any league sort of like that, it's difficult. It is, and we're all right here sat as fans saying he should have scored that. But when you're on that pitch and you're under that sort of pressure,
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you don't work hard for Unai Emery, you don't play.
Oh, no.
Yeah, if you don't give 100%, you're not playing, are you?
No. But look at the substitutions. I mean, going back to last Thursday, Chadwin was playing Zrinjski.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have won that 4-0, but it's a 1-0 win. Yes, I'm pleased with the 3 points, but all credit to Zrinjski. They defended really, really well.
But Josh, you and me were at the game. What did you think of the game? What's your verdict? The Zrinjski Mostar game.
Verdict on that game? Probably could have been 3-0 up at half time. And I dread to think what the last 10 minutes did for my heart rate, which I never actually checked on my watch, which is probably something I should have done.
But am I right in saying, though, lads, did you have 27 or 28 shots on target or shot?
Yeah, we did.
I think it was
28
on 28 shots, 8 on target. But the other 20 shots we had, either we missed them or their players just got in the way and blocked them.
And when the team like that comes to Villa Park or wherever it may be to come and play, or even if it was at their home ground, if they're going to play like Aston Villa or they're going to play a Premier League team, they're going to want to settle for. They're going to want to keep tight, try and shut up shop. And if they got a point or they drew, they could say, "Oh well, we didn't lose against like Aston Villa, say." Or so sometimes them games are harder than what like us as fans probably actually realise.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because as you said there, Matt, those sorts of games for those teams, they defend to try and either catch you on the break or, as you say, get a point and go, okay, we haven't lost that game.
Yeah,
we've got a chance of winning when we're back at our ground.
Because in Europe, you've got different teams with different challenges, with tactically as well.
Yeah, and of course, like just for another example, Wolves playing Man City the other week. We expected nothing, like us as fans expected nothing from the game, and if you can get a draw against Man City, probably the best team in the world, if you would say, like I think they are, but if you get a draw against them, it's a good result. So for us to win 2-1, it was like an unbelievable result. Yes, City might not have been at the races that day as they normally are, or they have been the last few games. But if you get points against them, you've done okay against Man City. So for a
Yeah.
team like, the European games, coming to Villa Park and getting a result in the Premier League ground against Aston Villa, it's massive to them.
No,
So
definitely,
in
100%.
the first half, with Zrinjski, it was uneventful. But the second half was more exciting. There is Zrinjski, though, they're very hard to break down. They defended for their lives. But fair play to Aston Villa. We didn't give up probing. In the end, we found the breakthrough. We
Yeah,
seemed to come again.
and that's what it's about sometimes, Chad. It's about, even though you might be creating all the chances and they're defend. All you need is that one breakthrough, and you've got the points then to kick you on, or you've got a result where you have defended, but you've kicked on and you've got a result.
I just gotta go with a drink, guys.
That's all right, mate.
But no, but I think you're right there, Matt. If you get, and this is what annoys me with some fans. They say, "Oh, we should be winning these games." You don't always win a game pretty. Okay, we beat Brighton 6-1, and no one would have said that. But games like that happen, and then other games you might win 2-0 or 2-1 or 1-0. But at the end of the day, as long as you're winning games and winning more than you lose or draw, then you're in pretty good shape.
Well, yeah, that's it, isn't it? And in a race, it doesn't matter if you win by, say, an inch or a mile, like it's quoted on films. If winning is winning. So if you are getting those 1-0 wins when they're needed, Rob, you're still winning those games and still pushing on.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I'll ask you this question next.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Premier League West Midlands Derby against Wolves? You were there, weren't you, Matt?
Yeah, I was there, mate. I'll go as many games as possible, and I'm at Bournemouth next weekend. I'll go when I can, where I can, depending on where. But I said it to my dad at half time. I felt like both teams had a shape, and when they could have broke the shape to probably get the ball to push on a bit, both teams did sit back a little bit and didn't want to break that shape and didn't want to concede a goal in the derby, or it was one of those. And when Wolves did get that breakthrough, I thought it was a little bit against the run of play towards in the second half. And I thought if we could have held on for perhaps 10, 15 minutes after the goal, the more Villa would have still pushed on, but the more chance we had to try and defend that 1-0 lead. But the goal, so we sort of switched off so soon after.
Yeah.
And when the 12 minutes was shown or whatever it was, and then we had the red card, I said to my dad, I said, I really can see Villa, because Villa have been one for late goals in some games, like, in Europe the other day, and when the ball gets shown, they keep going. So I said,
Watkins, though, he hit the post.
But like literally at the death.
That was the last kick of the game, and he scored that. Realising.
Yeah, and again, it was a typical derby against between the Wolves and Villa. I mean, apart from the two games in the Championship, which was great for both our home teams, because we was 2-0 and then you were 4-1 at Villa Park. The only other game I said that was entertaining was the 3-2 at Villa Park, but Villa dominated and was 2-0 up after 80 minutes, and it was just the 10 minutes that Wolves had that little flourish and managed to get the result. But other than that, the games they've always been quite close, a bit like you said, Chad, a bit boring, a bit nitty gritty, a bit. We've not had a game where we thought, wow, what a game of football that was.
Well, I think in the end, a draw was probably a fair result. We started the match very well.
Yeah, I think a draw would be a fair result. And, I spoke to a lot of Villa fans during the week, and the question was raised about the Watkins penalty that VAR looked at or whatever. But I said, anywhere else on the pitch, I said, they give a free kick for that nowadays.
Yeah, but the thing is, sorry to jump in there, Matt. You see them give them sometimes, and then you don't see them give them. So where's the consistency in that?
There's definitely not. There's no consistency in the Premier League at the minute with fouls, penalties. There's no consistency. But as
No.
a VAR ref, you should be able to look at that and go, well, if it's a foul one game, it's got to be a foul another game. And I
Yeah.
also said to the Villa fans that I spoke to it about, I said, but if it was the other way, and Wolves had, Wolves player would have been through and shoved, and it was a penalty, the Villa fans would have felt a bit, like a soft penalty, like he's gone down after feeling the touch. But
Does it
like
if it wasn't for Watkins shooting, I think if he didn't get that shot away, that would have been given that penalty.
Yeah.
And like Josh said, Chad, it's this inconsistency that he's getting teams every game. Like Liverpool had the offside. Was it against Tottenham? They had the offside.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And there was uproar about it. But how many decisions have we seen for like me as a Wolves fan and you two as Villa fans that is a stonewall decision and not given because we're Wolves and Villa, not Liverpool or Man
Does
City?
it always
Yeah.
happen to the Manchester team?
It always happens.
And that's where you're right, Josh. The consistency has got to be, if it's a rule for one, it's got to be a rule for all.
Yeah, and okay, if you miss something, okay, maybe you've missed that for whatever reason, but then don't go next week and then go and miss exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and it's all right saying like, oh, we are sorry you missed that, but if you just lost the game. Like, I'm trying to think of the game where Man United away, first game of the season, and Wolves should have had the penalty, and they missed it. And they said straight after the game, sorry, that was a penalty. But you can't be shown 10 replays and then say sorry after the game. You've already seen 10 replays to know it was a foul.
Yeah, and it was like, going back to the first season that Villa come back up, and I'm probably going to get a bit of heat for this, but the Sheffield United goal that wasn't given, which ultimately ended up sending them down. That's, okay, that's technology's fault, but it's the same thing with some of the decisions from the VAR and the referees. As you said, Matt, you could get one week and then next week, it's cost you the game, and potentially, that's the difference between staying in the Premier League and getting relegated to the Championship or something, or even potentially, missing out on Europe.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Because VAR, though, I think it's really in the game.
Chad, that's a whole different podcast there in itself, mate.
Yeah, we can say that for VAR.
Yeah, to me, it has ruined the game. I mean, we all go to the games, and if you're at Villa Park or I'm at Wolves or we're away somewhere, say you're away at, I don't know, Man United or Liverpool, and you're sat there, there's a goal gone in, and you're at the live game, but you're waiting for somebody in London to tell you if it was a goal or not. So you might as well sit at home and watch Sky Sports.
Yeah.
It just takes that excitement out, like the fan. It takes the fan excitement out the game.
No,
well, I
100%.
don't like about it is as well. It takes them ages to make a decision.
Yeah.
As well, like, you actually waste time.
Yeah. And it's like, I was watching, was it the England-Argentina game in the rugby? And there was a hit to the head. Completely accidental, he's gone to tackle him, but because he was out of control, the referee had initially gone, okay, sin bin for 10 minutes, yellow card. But whilst he was in the sin bin, they had the what's called the foul play match official.
Checking it, didn't they?
Yeah, and the game was still going on. And then at the end of the 7 minutes, went, okay, I've looked at the angles. Can you upgrade it to a red card? Now, if they did that in FIFA or football, I'm not saying that if there was a penalty that was missed, you can forget about that. But if there was an issue where potentially someone had been injured from a tackle and the referee maybe went, okay, I've only given a yellow card at the time because I don't think it warrants a red card. If they then said to the VAR, okay, we'll
5
carry on
minutes to
playing.
check it.
You've got, I don't know, five, maybe 10 minutes to check it and go,
Yeah.
okay, we've checked the angles, and we'd like you to upgrade it to a red card, then I'd be happy with that because it would stop all this, oh, there's a penalty, I'm going to go and check it at the screen and, waste 5 minutes of the game.
But I think that again with Josh, if they said 5 or 10 minutes, like say if Villa was on the like there was pressure in the team, that team had a yellow card foul and they're checking it. But then 10 minutes goes by and it should have been a red. So Villa could have had an extra 10 minutes then with the extra man. So, it's very fine lines to how Villa could make that work to an advantage then, or any team, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
It's a very
potentially
it's a very fine line, that, and tough.
Or maybe
Very
even
tough.
a minute. And if they don't decide what they want to do in that, say 2 minutes or whatever, then the on-field decision stays.
Yeah, or Chad and Josh, like the cricket, you get like I don't really watch cricket, but I know they have a few opportunities to challenge the on-field decision. So if they give a yellow card and they thought it was a red, Villa could maybe use one of them decisions that lasts, like you say, Josh, a minute. They could look at that review, and after that time's gone for the review, if it's done, it's done, and you've wasted a review. Or there's got to be ways to try and make this VAR a bit more fair towards other teams, not the what they call the top six.
Because, I mean, this is a completely different sport, but it's the same in the NHL where you've got.
Oh yeah.
In Toronto, you've got the situation room, which is like the VAR room, but instead of it being like a current referee, you've got ex-league officials that may have refereed for a certain amount of time, but they've got cameras on each and every single game going on that night. And
that's a good thing.
Like you said, Matt, in football, if you had you could say, okay, we want to challenge that. And in the NHL, the coaches have what's called a coaches challenge. If there's a player offside but a goal's given, they can go, okay, we want to challenge that. And if it's okay, it's given offside. But if they don't see and it's not given as offside, or they don't think the coach's challenge warranted what they thought, then automatically that team. Now I don't know if it's changed this year or it's still the same rule, but you either lose your team's timeout or you get assessed a bench penalty.
Yeah.
Because like with the Wolves game, it's very stop and start.
Yeah.
So it stops the game flow with all these VAR decisions.
Yeah, and I like Chad, I do think the referee stopped and started the game, and he could have let the game flow, which then it would have made it for a more entertaining game for us as fans.
No, 100%.
I'll tell you what though, Matt. Pedro Neto, what a player he is.
Yeah, he's took a while to come back from his couple of injuries, but yeah, he's out, like him and then Chan on the other. They've got a good setup at the minute, and they know if Neto's running down the ring, Chan makes that run just to be where he expects the ball to be. But Neto is, I think we'll be lucky to keep hold of him in January. But then again, if he keeps performing the way he does, I would say January Wolves have got to demand a certain fee for him.
Because Matty Cash a lot of problems.
Yeah, at the minute he's just playing really well. He's full of confidence, and
he'll definitely go to a big club.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, Arsenal are interested in him, but it's like that. You could leave Wolves and go to Arsenal, but you might be on the bench for a bit, and it's whether they want to play week in, or a lot of footballers these days do want the money though, don't they? So they do and they want the medal, so they do jump at that. If they play one game in 3, they get a medal, they get the better money. So yeah, we'll do well to keep hold of him. But
first of
it's
all,
like
Josh, I'll ask you this question. Going
yeah.
into the Wolves game, who was your player of the match from
Ooh.
the Aston Villa perspective?
Now, unfortunately, because I was at work, I didn't get a chance to watch any of the game. But I think it's just nice to see us playing some good football for a change. But I'm going to be greedy here, and I'm going to give it Pau Torres just purely for the fact that he scored.
Yeah, I'll admit as well. I totally agree with that.
Now, because I didn't see much of the game or any of it at all, I can't really comment on how the other members of the teams played. But you know, because we're sat there sort of gelling as a team, and okay, bear in mind some games it might be a bit slow, but then we've scored 3 goals. I'm still enjoying it as a Villa fan.
Do you think you scroll up my notes a little bit? They're good the other way if you go up. Yeah. But again, what you said about Pau Torres, I think is absolutely excellent. But he's a very intelligent footballer. He reminds me actually a little bit like Bichette. He's got a
Yeah.
great passing ability. And I think his vision is incredible as well.
Yeah, occasionally scores a couple of goals, and I think once Nicola Zaniolo gets going, I think we'll be okay with him as well.
I like him, I do. But also with Pau Torres, he scored his first goal for the football club. It has to be against Wolves as well.
Sorry, Matt.
yeah, it weren't a bad goal to be fair. He made the run. Wolves did switch off defensively, I thought, Semedo, but he got into that area where if a ball come in, he was ready to attack it and put it in the net, and that's exactly what he did. So.
Because what's funny is the Wolves fans are still celebrating.
Yeah, that's
and then
it.
we scored straight away.
Yeah, a bit of a kick in the teeth, that Chad. To be fair, because I was giving it me all singing, but.
And I think that's the thing. You know, they always say, "Oh, you're at your most vulnerable when you score," because you've just come off that high of scoring a goal.
Yeah.
But then, like that, you've got to switch back on, and it's really difficult to do it.
And we didn't. For Semedo, for the goal, just didn't switch back on, and yeah, it allowed Villa get in. And to be honest, like the result was fair, and I think it's what both teams deserve. But yeah, we scored, and then like you say, we left ourselves vulnerable and made it quite easy for Villa to get back into that game at that point.
So, Matt, from a Wolves' point of view, who was your player of the match?
Well, like obviously we mentioned earlier, you've got to put Neto up there because every time he got the ball, he looked for the wing, looked to drive. Villa's defence. And I said to my dad, I thought Dawson had another good game. He was quite good in the air and on the corners. Him and Dawson and McGinn were quite at it, trying to disrupt each other. So for me, it's probably between Pedro Neto and Dawson because since Dawson's joined us, he has been unbelievable, to be fair, for us.
Did he play for West Ham before, did he?
Yeah, West Ham. He's also been at
the
others up the road that we don't like to talk about, Chad, in it. But
the Tesco bags, yeah.
The Tesco bags, mate, you're right. But yeah, he's come to us, and last season when we signed him, he really made a difference for keeping us in the league. He was that bit of the older head within the young lads, and he was solid. So, and then again Sunday, I didn't think he did a lot wrong Sunday, to be fair. So
Josh, what is your predicted lineup for England versus Australia?
Ooh,
going back to the international right now.
I don't think he'll start with Watkins. I think, as annoying as it is, I think he'll be on the bench.
Yeah, he'll come off the bench, I think, Watkins, hopefully.
Now, Pickford, no matter what, he'll be in goal anyway. But I think he'll also, he'll start with the usual back four of, and the last few international games I haven't really watched. But and I think Grealish should potentially start unless he's also on the bench.
I think you may swap the team around a little bit because it's like the friendly. But I was looking at it earlier, Chad, when you put the question to me earlier in the week. I had a look and I thought, well, who's going to play left back? Because is that Colwell a left back, or because there's no other
I
left
think
backs
he
about?
is. I think he's a left back.
But you've
no
also
other
got
left
Kyle
backs.
Walker.
Yeah, it's a strange one for Australia because against the Euro qualifiers, you'll play the team he always plays. He's got friends and he's got he's got the team that he plays. But against Australia, he'll make a couple of changes. I think he'll make a change at centre back partnership. I think you might see Maguire maybe play. But I do think that Watkins probably should be given the chance against Australia. If he's going to change it, I'd give him the chance. But again, there's changing it. And if he changes two wingers, he might not get the service of Keynes. And it makes Watkins look like he's not done as well, if you know what I mean. So
You might Connor Wilson, maybe.
yeah, I had a quick look at the squad sort of, and I think Southgate might even put Phillips in there, which I don't really agree because he's not played a lot of football.
Yeah.
No.
In terms of the other lads, but you've got Phillips and Henderson. Henderson's obviously moved to Saturday. You got Phillips who's not really playing, but he's going to make a few changes. I think for the Australia game, just to give a few of the lads a run out and to look at them.
Yeah.
But even though Jude Bellingham used to play for Blues, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, he's
Look how
brilliant,
old he is.
isn't he? He's brilliant.
Is he not 19 or 20 or something, is it?
I think I thought he was about 21. I did, Chad, but
something like that. Yeah, he's quite young.
He's early on, anyway, isn't he? And he's just shown the potential to be just unbelievable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, would you two start Watkins on Friday and see how he gets on? Like to give him a bit more of a chance to see.
I think so, yeah, because if he nicks a couple of goals in the England shirt, it'll give him a bit more confidence. Yeah, no, definitely, Chad.
I reckon Southgate. You know what he's like. I think he'd take off the bench probably.
Yeah. To be honest, Chad and Josh, sometimes like these sort of international breaks, I get really bored with watching England sometimes. I don't know what it is, but in the tournaments they seem to do okay, but then in these sort of like international breaks throughout the season, and I know one's a qualifying, obviously Australia's fight, but I get quite bored of watching them. It's quite defensive. It's not easy on the eye, is it?
No, it's not.
No. That's was it the last international game we played? I think I watched about 10 minutes of it and then went and did something else because it was that boring.
Yeah, you do. You just get so bored of seeing the same old Southgate tactics and, not really going in for a game. Like, we've got Australia Friday. Let's go out attacking and let's see what the attacking players can do. I know we've got to still watch the defence and what they do, but let's let the attacking players and maybe go two up top. Let's see what two strikers can do. These are the games when you experiment and you see what we can do moving forward.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that's the thing, as you said there, Matt. He seems to be set on his team that he wants for the tournament. But then equally, if it does become friendly, he then doesn't experiment because he likes to stay with that team rooted into the system.
Yeah, his shape and everything. He likes to stay with that, doesn't he?
Yeah. So, guys, what are your score predictions for the next two England games?
So 2-0 England for Australia. And who's the next one?
Italy.
Italy next then.
Ugh. Do we have to play it? You can mute that bit out, Chad. I actually don't have my Italian top on, but I'm going to say 1-1.
I think I'm going to go with 3-0 Friday against Australia, hoping that he puts the right team out to attack the game a bit. And then Italy, tough one, but I'm going to go England 2-1. You got to always stick with England and go that we're going to win both the games.
Well, guys, I went for the same as you, Matt. I went 3-0. I think it's going to be a comfortable win against Australia, and I think the Italy game be very tight. I think with Italy, though, they've got some really good young, talented players coming through.
Yeah.
I don't think Zaniolo does.
Yeah, Italy have got a decent squad, to be fair.
He'll probably bag a goal, and Donnarumma will probably do something to stop us from somehow scoring a goal of some sort.
Can I just scroll the notes a bit? I'll just actually scroll. So I'll go on to the last question now, guys. What do you expect from England in the next two games? I'll start with you, Matt.
I don't know what, in terms of what I expect, I don't know, because Southgate has not played the best football we've ever seen of England, but I would like to see him more attacking and more open throughout midfield in terms of being able to put the through balls for and really give the game some attack the game. I'd like to see an attacking England team, but Southgate's like quite rigid in his system. He likes to set up, and if it's a 1-0 win, it's a 1-0 win.
Pretty stubborn.
Yeah, but I would like to see a bit more of an offense from England. I'd like to see him attack the games a little bit more.
Yeah, because as you said there, Matt, it's all good and well. Drawing your games out and scraping a 1-0 win, but do you want to be constantly playing for 1-0 wins? I mean,
yeah, sorry, Josh. I think in the World Cups and the Euros, you take 1-0s to get through and get through and get through and get to the final.
Yeah.
But in the maybe the friendly and the qualifiers, you'd like to see a bit more of an expansive England side and let them try and push on and just see what the lads can do if you let them have that freedom roll and let them.
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts. I expect different tests from both opposition, but I think with the quality we have in the squad, we should do enough to win both games.
Yeah, correct, Chad. I think the quality we have, we should. But it's about tactics and how we set up and how we play, and like we've said it a couple of times, Southgate is quite a rigid manager, and sometimes he can be a bit too negative. But I think you're right, Chad. We have definitely got the quality to push on and win the two games.
And maybe Ollie Watkins might get his chance off the bench, or even start to impress him.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, Josh. I think he needs to get on, don't he, and show what he can do, what he's been doing for Villa, show what he can do on the international stage as well.
Yeah, I think, mate. Okay, I'm going to maybe change my lineup for potentially. Is it tomorrow, the England game?
Yes, mate, tomorrow, yeah.
I'm going to change it then for the Australia game. I'm going to go, hopefully he starts Watkins with it being a friendly. Give him a bit of a chance to see what he can do, and then
that's going to be an idea. Yeah,
maybe.
I think give him the 90 minutes at least to give him. He's deserved the chance, so let him have his chance.
Yeah, and then maybe against Italy, second nation to me, but we'll leave that out. I think maybe against Italy, potentially see how we're getting on after 60, 70 minutes, and then bring him on with fresh legs or something.
Well, I'll have to give it Italy after we got beaten on penalties from them.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take, weren't it, Chad?
In the final, especially.
Less said about that.
Yeah, less about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but Josh, you got the best of both worlds, like you just said. It does, you
You're
can
Italian as well.
put the England top on or put the Italy top on. You can celebrate.
No, it'll always England will always be first, but it's just that second nation due to family, you know.
Yeah, the soft spot for Italy is like with your family.
Yeah,
It's like Chad, though, isn't it? Chad, you're Villa first, but with your granddad, you got the soft spot for Wolves, really, haven't you, mate?
Does it help us of converting my granddad to Wolves and Jennifer?
Yeah, right.
Trust the
I'd like to
Jennifer?
see that, Chad.
Yeah.
Chad, I think no matter how hard you try, I don't think you're going to convert
No,
your
I
granddad.
think I've definitely lost that battle.
Why don't he convert you to a Wolves fan, Chad?
No chance. But Italy, though, mate, they didn't qualify for the World Cup.
No,
They've underachieved the
so
last couple of seasons.
I think there's a lot changed though since that, Chad, with the the World Cup and stuff. I think there's quite a bit change in the background as well as the pitch.
yeah, because going back to a year to that Euros game. Again, what's VAR doing when they look at that when Saka got pulled back?
Again, another VAR problem that we spoke about earlier, the
You should be really
inconsistency.
good rant about VAR.
Chad, can we do a separate podcast with
VAR.
just a VAR?
A VAR podcast and the referee podcast, Chad, eh?
I think that might get...
You know quite a lot of podcasts already. But if you know anybody at work who'd be interested subscribing to the podcast, can you please spread the word?
Yeah, I always tell everyone, Chad, I go in the pub, and I went in the pub on Monday I play for the darts team now. I'm not very good, but I play for the darts team. I went in and I was telling them all that I was on today. With work, I'm hoping to get back, and we're on. I've told them all to subscribe and all look, and then it's a bit more about the podcast, so as well, isn't it, Chad? It's about
I'll create the awareness about the condition.
Yeah, it's about the condition. It's about raising the awareness for that as well, Chad. So
I'm going to keep at it.
Yeah, and I've been telling everybody, while you do what you do, while we're here, it's nice. So they're all going to say they're going to have a look at me talking about the Wolves on here, but yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's about raising awareness, mate, and keep going and doing what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
And I said the same thing to him as well, mate. I've got cerebral palsy, but just because I've got that, it doesn't stop me from, going to concerts and going out to places.
That's what's good for equality, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to keep raising awareness for both, and we, like you say, it's the opportunity, perfect opportunity, Chad, with your podcast and Josh being on, to put the word out there for both of you, and keep it going, and because some people, like you said, Josh, you still go to concerts and things like that, and some people sometimes they get an illness or they're born with an illness, and they don't realise what they can and can't do until they go and try and do different things and keep it going.
I mean, I don't think you'd ever catch me chucking myself out of an aeroplane, because that's not my sort of thing. But
oh, mine, mate, I wouldn't be doing that either.
But no, like concerts, I've always enjoyed going to. And
you, Chad, you like your concerts?
Busy social life, yeah.
Equally, saying about the ice hockey earlier, I enjoy going to watch that as well.
Who do you follow, Josh, in the ice hockey?
Solihull Barons, but that's because my dad used to play for them.
Yeah, I'm a Telford Tigers fan, I am.
Yeah, I can take that because it's a Midlands team.
Yeah, and they're playing orange and black, so...
I've got some orange trainers if that counts as going to Telford. No, in fact, they're actually orange and black, so I guess so. No, my dad used to play for Solihull in the early 80s. But then my mum also played for the Solihull Vixens.
It's in the blood.
Yeah, that's it.
So And they were both captain. My dad was captain of the men's, and Mum was captain of the women's team.
Nice. I might see you at a game one day then, Josh, over in Solihull somewhere. Or at
Yeah,
Telford.
potentially. Yeah, let me know when you're down, and we'll go or something.
And you, Chad, we'll get you a nice Telford
Yeah,
Tigers
yeah.
top, orange and black, and you can get the
That'll be
orange
good
and black
for
on,
us.
eh?
Yeah,
The closer
you
they
can
will be
put
better.
you can put your Villa blanket on as well, Chad.
Cover it up.
Yeah.
Well, to finish off the podcast, I'm going to read out some comments. Well, we got a comment from Will Ed. Wolves just fouled at every opportunity. 4 yellows, 1 red. Brackets 27 fouls. Are they happy playing for a point in a game against Villa, Matt?
That's one of those, isn't it? I mean, you know, considering the positions in the league and how you started and how we started, and I think we would have been happy with the point before the game. In terms of the fouls, I thought both teams were quite niggly within the fouls, which is a fair comment again. But yeah, I'd have been happy with a point at the start of the game, Chad. To be honest, I would have took that.
Yeah, I bet most Wolves fans would have said that probably.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's not a bad question actually. I know the foul. I know we might have had more fouls or whatever, but I thought the game was quite scrappy in terms of fouls. But the point, I think Wolves fans would be happy with a point at the start of the game. If you'd have said a point, you'd have taken it, wouldn't you? No.
Yeah, because if you look at it, it's a derby game, and okay, it's good to get the wins, but derby games, they're always difficult to predict
Three scrappy.
because you don't want to be the team that makes the mistake, but equally also you don't want to be the team that runs away with it, because that then goes, oh, okay, the other team didn't turn up. Whereas, you know, if it's a point, then
In a derby game, as long as you're not losing, you know, you got to, you know, and I don't say, I'm not trying to put a comment in there, but Villa have struggled against Wolves as of late. It's been a bit of a bogey game.
Yeah, I've got full
so,
record.
so to take a point away from the game, as long as you're not losing the games after a bad run against us, sort of thing.
Yeah, then it's different.
And then again, we're not losing again in a derby game. So I think both teams, you'd want, obviously, we all want the 3 points. And the position you are in the league, you want the 3 points. But a draw at the end of the day is not, you're not losing in a derby game. You can push on in other games and not lose your derby games.
No, definitely 100% there.
Oh yeah, I'll read the last comments. Let's just have a look at it. Okay, Daniel Barhine. Yeah, it takes them ages, and they make the wrong call. Amazing at how it's ruined the game. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I think
talking about VAR there, it's exactly what we've all said, isn't it? And like Josh said, we could have a separate podcast for VAR, couldn't we?
the other rant at me, I think a really good rant about that.
And I think if we did that, mate, I think we might get the podcast taken off. Because there's a lot of things.
It's definitely one for another day, though, Chad. It's another opportunity to get us all three of us on and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm up for that, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I'll definitely do it, but it's definitely something else we could talk about.
Yeah, and Chad, I like the way now that you pull the comments up and we have a look and we can address the comments and look at them and see what other people are thinking of too, mate. And it's nice to know that there's plenty of people watching and commenting and seeing what you're doing, mate.
Yeah, I've got a good setup.
Yeah, it's great. Apart from that thing in the background, Chad, I can just see a bit, we need to change that, but...
Do you want me to get one of my Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys next time, Matt?
Yeah, that'll do. I'll get the Telford Tigers top on him.
Okay, I'm going to bring this episode to a close. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please give it a like, share, and please subscribe to my channel. Also, remember to keep your post notifications turned on. Thank you so much, Josh and Matt, for your time.
Not a problem, Chad.
Pleasure, Chad, as always. And keep up the good work. The podcast, mate. It's brilliant. Love it.
Thank you. The last thing that is left to say is up the Villa.
And everyone, just before you end it,